Welcome back to the Black Hills Boys podcast. This is season 2, episode 12 of the show. We're officially into playoff football. How we doing, boys?
Not too bad.
Hang in there. Josh, you look good today, man.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. You always
Problem,
make me
dog.
feel good. You look good yourself.
Thanks, man. You know what's going to look even better on you? Deion Sanders as your head coach.
57 seconds in, and you're already bringing me down.
Did you guys like those Bitmojis I was sending you?
Those are wild.
That was awesome.
I don't even know where you find those. That was,
Don't ask. Dark web.
yeah, for sure. Are we going to start with the Deion talk? Is that
No. We can.
okay? Say, man, that's heavy to start with. Shay, what have you been up to?
What's up?
What have you been up to?
Just working home, man.
What'd you have for supper tonight?
Chicken salads.
Ooh.
You're going healthy, huh?
It was pretty good. That's what my wife picked, so that's what I ate.
Smart man.
Yep.
When was the last time we did a podcast? It's been
Yeah,
A while.
It was pre-Christmas.
it was pre-Christmas.
Yeah.
So how was everyone's Christmas?
Josh, come on.
About a month ago, it was good.
Yeah, just trying to catch up here, boys. I only ever talked to you over this, so you guys, well,
It was
just trying
good.
to catch up.
Dave went to Ireland.
Yeah, I went to Ireland.
Dave did go to Ireland.
Went to Dublin.
Man, there's some dumb people in this world.
What did you do in Dublin?
Just hung around. Went. What? Went to the crazy thing that a lot of people don't know about Dublin is they're actually right by there is a place called Columbus, and home of the Buckeyes.
Fuck
So I went and walked around that place, took a shit outside the steps. Did the little M thing. So that felt good.
Do you think that was necessary?
I do.
Maybe not. Hey, you guys need to go on to your F book and share it this time, like we talked about last time.
All right, bet.
Josh can't even run two things. No, it was good though. It was a good Christmas. New Year's was fun. Then back to reality working. And
How's school been? How the kids?
I haven't really had to deal with them too much, but they're wound up. I mean, full of piss and vinegar. And then this weekend I'll go see Marky Bobby and Mama Lisa.
Watch the game on Saturday night?
No, I'm pretty superstitious about that. I will be returning to my home on Saturday to watch the game.
By yourself?
No, me and Allie will watch it.
Is Allie nervous for Monday?
No, she was saying some pretty hateful stuff about you and Notre Dame earlier that I'm not going to repeat. 'Cause I don't want you guys to start your relationship out this way, like Rocky.
I think it's a BTA treatment for me.
BTA? She don't even know what that means.
Bell to ass.
So is she prepared for Sunday if Saturday goes poorly?
It's something we're trying to deal with. We've had some good talks about it.
If she needs some advice, give her my number. We've been through some tough losses together that I could probably give her some key advice to get through those tough days, tough weeks,
Tough months, tough years.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Josh.
There were dark times.
I guess speaking of college football a little bit, Shay, obviously you're a little biased here. Josh, you kind of don't have a dog in the fight. The playoffs are kind of wild, just how I think they're 8 seed and 7 seed, but two teams that probably wouldn't have made the playoff last year if it weren't for, the extended playoffs, just because you would have had to have your conference championship and all that stuff. So what's your guys' thoughts? I guess you first, Josh, on the college playoffs. Who do you think is going to win? Did you like the new format? All that good stuff.
Did you watch any of the games, Josh?
Yes, I watch. This is like the part of college football that I tend to watch.
Oh, Shay, check this out.
Oh my God, Daddy.
Yep.
I got things going on Saturdays, but I'm riding the Irish with Shay. I hope they get a W for you. I also have them on a bet, so you're probably screwed there, buddy. But
You have who on a bet? You put the Lions on a bet? Or
no, I have the Irish, the Lions, and Duke on a parlay to win.
Did you go money?
everything.
Just money
Why
line?
would you do that?
Why would I do that?
Yeah.
Because it's
Those are literally
$5.
my
to win,
three
like-
favorite teams. You don't want me to win.
So get this. I had Montana, and they lost. So then I had to get a 3-team parlay together now because the 4-team lost on the first bet. So
you just thought to yourself, who are Shay's favorite teams, and picked all three of them?
well, the way I was looking at it is after the first loss, I was like, okay, can I get all 4 wrong? So then I was like, let's go with 3. So now if Notre Dame loses, I'll just go with the 2, and eventually one of them's got to win, don't they? I can't go 0-4.
I hope so, dude. That'd be really cool for me.
What was the
Yeah.
money line at, Josh, for that?
I don't know, $5 to win. The original with Montana would have put $5 at like $1,200, and then they lost, and then now it's at like 830. So the odds are not great, but the college playoff, I like the extra teams, but I do think they've got to switch something up with seeding, but I don't know how else you do it. And then also the fact that all 4 teams that had a bye lost just goes to show that maybe continuing to play football is not a bad thing. So I don't know. Because do they do buys in FCS?
I don't think so, but I'd have to look.
They do. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah.
Okay. So I kind of thought that they do the top 2 get buys though, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. There's definitely something to say about the time off and rust and all that. So, because they all lost, but if you look at like Arizona State, they started playing much better in the second half. Like there's just a rust factor, and
Scatterboo had to puke. Then they started playing good.
yeah.
That dude's a fucking freak.
He's a football player. I don't know. I don't know how much it's going to transition going forward, but he's a football guy.
He's a football guy.
But
Do you want my opinion now, Dave?
What's that?
hey, before we
Yeah.
move on to your opinion, is your coach going to be a coach in college football next year?
No. He just got extended through 2030.
Who,
Or
Marcus
in college
Freeman?
football, yes, he will be. He's
Okay.
not going pro. Buddy, you got Dion. You don't got to worry about nothing. You got
Yeah.
Dion and Shadur coming your way, bud.
Hear about your take on college football.
Personally, I think the 2 best
Did you-
teams out of
Did
each
you
side of
watch any of the
bracket
games?
are in the championship. Would you agree with that, Dave?
Did you say the best 2 teams are in the championship?
Yeah, the 2 best teams in that bracket are in the championship.
Yeah, I think it's obvious those 2 teams are playing the best football right now. I think they peaked at the right time. I think different circumstances of losses in the season with Notre Dame dropping that one to North Carolina State, and then obviously
Northern Illinois.
at Northern Illinois, and then obviously Ohio State losing to Michigan kind of propelled their season, and I think is the reason that they're playing so well.
Yeah, I do too.
I would agree though. For a long time I thought Texas was the best, and I still don't really understand how they didn't get that done with being, having the guys on both sides of the ball. But obviously, I think Ohio State.
The 1 yard line.
Yeah, I mean they had a shot right on first and goal, but Ohio State peaked, and offensively they're finally throwing the ball, which they didn't do in the Michigan game. Defensively, Jack Sawyer's a stud. He's playing well. I think he'll be a top 15 pick. Will Howard's doing a good job, and then over Notre Dame, obviously They're starting to throw the ball a little bit better. The run game's actually kind of dropped off more than I thought it would, in my opinion. I think we're starting running backs like averaging like 40 yards the last 2 games, and he was averaging like 80. Yeah. Defensively, both teams are playing well, but I think the spreads is at 9.5. Is that right?
Dropped to 8.
So I don't know. I mean, you never know in those games. Earlier in the year, Ohio State was 19.5-point favorites, and look how that turned out. So
they have Ohio State winning by that much.
Yeah,
by 8.
This isn't going to be like the last time Notre Dame made a national championship, is it?
I hope not. That'd be bad.
That'd be brutal.
I just think it's funny. Back to my original statement of like these two teams wouldn't have been in here for not being in the bracket, and so everybody complaining about like the NCAA and new playoffs is dumb because of the blowouts and things. Like how much difference the NFL this week in the wild card games. There was one good game all week,
right?
Like I don't know.
I think with the first thing I'll say about Notre Dame is the reason we won that game is because Riley Leonard had to come out for a concussion or whatever at the end of the first half, and Steve Angeli, who I've basically been jacking him off on Twitter all year, Steve Angeli came in and took us all the way down the field, just throwing the ball. Me and one of my friends had quite a bit of money on the game, and I texted him. I said, if Riley Leonard comes back in this game, we're fucked. And guess who came out of the tunnel? Riley Leonard. I was fully convinced that we were not going to win that game. And, I mean, I'll give it to him. He made plays that he hasn't made all year. I mean, some of the throws he made, I didn't think he was capable of that. Hopefully he can carry that on to the next game. But being a Notre Dame fan, I give a lot of credit to Steve Angeli because if we didn't have any points at the end of that half, we would not have been even close in that game. But I think our defense is going to keep us in that game. I mean, regardless of who we play, I think our defense matches up so well with everybody. It sucks losing Riley Mills. He went out. He was our starting D tackle. He went out the first week of the playoffs, but I mean, everyone's stepped up around him. Our D line, if you look at our D line compared to everyone else's O line, they look so goddamn small. But I mean, they're getting the job done. So, and we lost our starting left tackle, and that's going to be
scary. I was going to ask, any of the guys that were hurt, any of them playing? Because wasn't one of your guards hurt too?
He's playing.
Is he?
Yeah, Rocco Spindler's playing, but what's his name? Anthony Knapp's out. He's a true freshman too, so. But the guy we got replacing him is 6'8", 325 pounds.
That's a
big
huge
body. Big body.
It's a big
like Dan Skipper.
Mm-hmm. He's Dan Skipper-esque. I don't think he's as quick, agile. But yeah, my score prediction is 24-21 Notre Dame.
Josh, what are you going with?
Well, for my bet and for Shay's start to his playoffs here, let's go 28-24 Notre Dame. 31-28 because old Jeter's gonna kick the game winner.
My dog. Bro, he was so bad in the regular season. I mean, he was hurt, but he was so bad in the regular season and in the playoffs. He's just got fucking massive balls. I mean, his balls are just hanging out there, dude. You need to kick Mitch Jeter's your guy.
It's that last name.
Yeah, it's incredible. One more thing on that game. That Abdul Carter dude from Penn State, he should be the first overall pick.
Who's that remind you of? Number 11 from Penn State.
He's not
Micah Parsons, obviously.
All right.
He's not the same. He doesn't have a dumb podcast
that dude is a freak.
And he was hurt.
He was playing one arm.
I thought it was kind of how do I phrase this in like a kind of a professional way? I thought it was really, really dumb that he had Darth Vader on his face. He looked like a fucking idiot doing that. Like, just put eye black on, buddy. You don't need to be Tim Tebow. Did you see that?
Yes.
He looked like an idiot. Regardless of that, he's really good at football.
I think in my mind, the biggest disadvantage that Notre Dame has in that game is trying to match up against those receivers. I think Ohio State's got two of the top receivers in I would say Division I right now. Pretty unstoppable. However, I think the game kind of comes down to Riley Leonard's legs, and if he can extend plays like he did the second half of that game last week, and I think he's got to be over 50 yards rushing, and I think they got to establish the run game a lot better than they have. Shay, I love you to death. I hope Notre Dame wins. However, I think the outcome of that game is going to be Ohio State 34, Notre Dame 21.
I've been saying it for a while that if Notre Dame plays Ohio State in the championship, we're going to get boat raced. But every day I start to believe just a little bit more that we have a chance. So, I'm coming in with a clear mind here. I'm just glad we made it this far, man.
Absolutely.
I started the year off losing to Northern Illinois. I mowed the yard without my wife even telling me because I was so pissed off. and now I'm in the championship. So, it's a full circle moment for me.
That mower really changed you. Changed the
Dude, so much clarity came out of that little mowing. It was a lot of reflection time for me.
I just hope it's a close game, honestly. Either way, I hope it just doesn't go one way or the other, I guess, in my opinion.
What you said about their wide receivers, I do agree with you. They have really good wide receivers. But on the other side of the ball, Notre Dame's cornerbacks are studs. Yeah, the only thing that hurts them is that they're young, but they're studs, and our safeties, I would take our safeties over anybody in the league or in the nation. Xavier Watts and Jordan Clark, I would take those guys over anybody.
I just worry about their pass rush, though, with losing that your number one D tackle.
I know that's the thing that worries me the most.
And Will Howard can extend plays too. So if those guys aren't getting in there, it's going to be a long day. I mean, no matter how good they are, you've seen it in the NFL. Yeah. Like if a quarterback can extend the play, guys are eventually going to get open.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We'll find out Monday.
What a day, man. I'm excited for you.
Appreciate it. I got the day off on Monday too.
Same.
I think Tuesday would be a better day for you to have off.
If Notre Dame wins, I'm taking Tuesday off. I already told my boss. I'm gonna get hammered.
Well, before we get into playoff football and stuff, I think we should give Josh his moment of clarity here, and we've talked about it a little bit already. But the Deion Sanders rumors, Mike McCarthy getting fired. Shay's a big Deion believer. I don't know, Josh. I'm going to let you just go here after I pull this picture up if I can find it. Where'd that sucker go? Well, you got this one. You got this one. Now you got this one. Breaking news: Jerry Jones names himself the head coach of the Cowboys. Go ahead and speak on that, Josh.
So I sent a snap. I don't know if I sent it to you guys, but it was basically, I feel bad how many times a week I think about and hope that Jerry doesn't wake up from his afternoon nap. And if they hire Deion Sanders, I hope his whole family goes take a nap in the afternoon and none of them wake up.
I hope this doesn't happen, because if it does, you're going to get investigated.
They know I'm not capable of this. No, seriously though, Deion Sanders would be the worst thing to happen to the Dallas Cowboys. I just cannot imagine a guy who is more worried about social media and likes and playing his kids than, it'd be a disaster. I don't think that correlates and translates to an NFL locker room. I also think the Cowboys once again proved that they're just not a smart organization. The fact that they held on to McCarthy for an extra week, not only did that keep McCarthy from getting to interview right at, like they denied him the
That was a scumbag move.
Yeah,
on their part.
So it keeps that a week of him not getting to interview, but then also it's a week less they get to interview. They didn't get to talk to Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn or not smart. I also like Troy Aikman. I kind of caught a glimpse of like a little bit of what he was saying, and it's not that great of a job anymore. Like it's not like it's everyone wants it. You're going to have to find a specific person who's nuts enough to think they can not only deal with Jerry, but turn that thing around. So maybe Deion's nuts enough to think because he thinks he's God and he may be able to do it, but his son's not the answer, and his other son is not an answer on defense.
What about his other son? He's got 3 sons.
Well, the third one, if they do need a little bit like social media stuff, I think he help out with that. But no, I think the other 2 as football players are not the answer for the Dallas Cowboys. And he's talked about that if he could coach his kids, it's like, let your kids go be coached by someone else. Like it's one thing for parents to want to coach their kids in like elementary school, but eventually they got to go play for some other people. I don't know. Deion's not the answer. But Shay, the more you talk about it, the more I'm starting to feel like it's going to happen. And if it happens on Friday, like by Friday, I may be a Lions fan next year. We'll see. We'll see. I'm a Lions fan right now. I'm back on the bandwagon, boys. So
I just think a guy like Brian Flores coming in there.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought. I was going to say the same thing.
That would be my number 1 guy right now if you weren't going after Aaron Glenn. And I don't want to lose Glenn, so I'm going to say Flores. And what he did with the Minnesota defense all year, his different looks where he'd have 9 at the line of scrimmage, drop into a shell coverage or drop into man. I don't know what he did on defense to make all those guys understand their roles, because every single look at the line of scrimmage is different. And imagine being a quarterback with having 17 guys walking up and back and forth, and you don't know what the heck the blitz is coming from or where, what's going on. So for him to orchestrate that and give Minnesota a chance in a lot of those games, just hitting on that game last night with the Matt Stafford where they said it was an incomplete pass and he's flipping it forward. To me, that's a fumble. It's a 10-10. It's a 10-10 game, and at that point, and because of Brian Flores' defense, but all year they gave him an opportunity to win, and I think he's had a shot in Miami. Things didn't really go as well as what they should have, right, with Tua, and you've heard stories on that. But I think him and Dallas would be phenomenal for that defense, especially if they're able to retain Parsons and some of your secondary. And I know that what was that kid's name, Overshown, where I think he's out next year too, unfortunately. But you got some good young pieces there.
He's talked that he'll be back by the end of next year. He thinks. So, no, financially is where they're in a little trouble.
A little?
Okay, a lot.
You still got to pay Micah too, don't you?
Yeah. Figuring that out. And then
She already figured that out for you. You trade Dak, get rid of that contractual issue.
Hey,
we'll get there. We'll get there.
So, I don't know. Coaching wise, I don't know. Flores wouldn't be bad, but I kind of wouldn't mind a head coach that comes in, has a D coordinator and an OC, and just lets them do their thing, because I don't know. McCarthy calling plays wasn't awful, but there's a lot going on, and those seems like a lot of those, like say Dan Campbell, where he coaches. He's a guy in the locker room
he's a leader of men.
Yes. See, that's what I want. A leader of men.
But how many of those coaches are there? Like even Pierce, we talked about last year, got fired. Like it didn't work out there for him. His guys didn't believe in it. Like I don't know that you find guys like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Part of me believes McCarthy was a little bit more of a leader than what I thought, because the fact that they kept playing at the end of the year,
I agree with that.
that shows a lot. And there's a lot that's the Gerard Mayo getting fired, they were awful and they're still playing to the end kind of deal, and then he gets fired. I don't know. I think there's very few of them out there. And what's old Indiana's coach up to next year? Old Cignetti.
Probably coaching Indiana.
Yeah, probably coaching Indiana. But that's my thing, though. I was trying to think of someone who has won, and whatever. And
you know who would have been really good there? Dan Quinn.
Really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah, but what?
In the back of Jerry's mind, if he was going to make that move, wouldn't you be like, I think I already got somebody in the building that could.
That they love, that they play for.
And honestly, obviously, I'm an advocate for Dan Campbell winning Coach of the Year. But if we're being realistic about who should win that, look at what Washington did last year to where they are now. And, I know they vote on things before playoffs. But if there's one guy who really deserves Coach of the Year, I would say, over maybe a Dan Campbell or Kevin O'Connell, I would definitely say Dan Quinn, without a doubt. I mean, he totally changed the trajectory of that franchise.
It goes to show by also how many guys went and played for him. There's a handful of Cowboys from last year, the last couple of years that went there. So we'll see. I don't know if one coach can fix the dumpster fire of the Dallas Cowboys right now. Shay, if they don't hire Dion, who are they going to hire?
I think I want to say Flores. But I don't know. I really don't know if, from what I see on Twitter, a lot of teams don't want to hire Brian Flores for what happened the last time he was a head coach. I honestly think, Josh, a sleeper here. I think Cliff Kingsbury.
Cliff Kingsbury?
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate that.
I don't even think he's – didn't he come out and say that he isn't he didn't really talk like he wanted to be a head coach again yet?
I think that's a pretty good option for the Dallas Cowboys.
So this is what I was saying the other day, the unproven coaches, the young coaches, say your Kellen Moores or say Kingsbury, where he wasn't very successful. First half of the year he was fairly successful, but I don't know. I want a coach who's been there, done it. I don't know. Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll. Go give me an old guy that bring in his defense coordinator, OC, and let them just be the head coach. Otherwise, we blow it all up and go young coach, trade quarterback. But no one wants that.
Yeah, as I said, I don't know anybody that would trade for Dak for his contract right now.
I don't think Dak's
I don't
going to let them trade him. I'm pretty sure he's got no trade clause, and I highly doubt he's going to be like, oh, yeah, send me to Tennessee.
So what pick do you have, Josh? 12. Is it
12,
deeper than
12th or 13th? 12th, I think.
So you're comfortable taking Genty there?
I'm not comfortable with anything.
Or do you want to trade back and start stockpiling picks for the next few years? What's your –
I wish we would have been worse. I was hoping to be top 5 and then trade. What's the point of being 12 if you might as well
Josh,
be –
your quarterback next year is going to be Shedeur Sanders. I'm
Shit.
serious.
Stop speaking that into. What do you do with Dak?
Yeah, they'll figure it out. I don't know what you do with him. They screw themselves there, but
Yeah, I would say Genty, but also if there's a stud offensive lineman or a stud D tackle, I don't know how you. Yes, Jace, I would rather talk about anything but the Dallas Cowboys right now. And then every time Shay brings up Deion Sanders, it just hurts my heart even more.
You talking prime time?
Prime
Yeah.
time.
Prime.
I don't know. The Cowboys have so many holes. I don't know if Genty fixes. You know what? I'm not even going to be in that league next year. I don't even know. I was in too many.
Can I take a spot?
Oh yeah, buddy, you're in.
Were you not in that league?
No, bro, I'm not cool enough.
Yeah, dude.
You don't know
I
what
don't
Dave
even
did
know
me
how
on
that-
Sunday?
What?
So I texted him on Sunday. I'm like, right away on Sunday morning, I'm like, hey, you want to play COD today? He's like, yep, playing cornhole right now, so it'll be later. It's like, all right, sounds good. Played Xbox for 4 hours by myself waiting for Dave. Guess who never got on Xbox?
Wow.
Dave.
My internet went out.
I'm blaming Ali.
He's changed.
He is, bro.
He's
He's an Ohio State fan.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
That's wild, isn't it?
Crazy.
Next year, he'll probably be a Packers fan, too.
Did Britt win your league?
Yes, and I actually have that wrote down that I got to get him his money. I am so tired of him winning that league. I think he's won it 2 out of 2 years.
This league was crazy though. The one we did the random rules. There was one week that I think Dan Campbell scored like 102 points himself, and Jefferson scored 160 something.
Yeah, I did not do enough research for that league. The fact that a kicker can score as much as they score, like they're one of the most important players.
Yeah, you get a point per yard for kicking, like 0.1
Holy
point per
shit.
yard. So if it made a 55-yard field goal, you get 5.5 yards. But if you missed a 60-yard field goal, you would lose 6 points.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was like Jamar Chase went for like 200 and some points.
200 something, yeah.
Like, dumb. And I thought I was being pretty smart during the draft, saving money, kind of, not getting a bunch of the big names. No, I'm pretty sure I probably got last in that league.
Yeah, you did.
And I tried partway through. I was actually giving it some effort. And each week I'd look at it and be like, okay, I'm projected half as many points as everyone else. But
all right, Josh, I don't want to hamper you with the Cowboys stuff.
Yeah, let's move on from the coaching situation. Guys, I'm pretty sure we took a picture with his brother.
Yeah, I got a
I think
picture.
it was. I think it was.
You know who should be the new head coach?
Yeah.
No,
roll.
dude, I would not trust that guy.
Let's roll.
All right, let's take a look at the playoff bracket here. Obviously, we're into the divisional. Let's just start in the AFC, quickly talking about each game. Obviously, I think the game of the week for me is going to be, and I think for everybody, is Baltimore taking on Buffalo in Buffalo, and then you got the Texans at Kansas City. So I'll let you guys kind of take it off first.
Go ahead, Shay. I'm looking for something.
I think. Can you take the bracket off? It's creeping me out, dude.
Yeah, no problem. Give me a sec here.
I'm
Shay just likes seeing himself.
I actually think that. Whoa, hey, I think that Texans and Chiefs game is going to be better than it was the time like a couple weeks ago. If the Texans play like they did last week, they can win that game. I'm not going to say they are, but I think that'll be a pretty good game. As far as the Lions game goes, I really don't want to get too deep into it right now, but as long as we contain Jaden Daniels, I don't think you're going to completely stop him, but as long as you contain him, I think we have a very, very, very good chance of winning that game because Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, if he plays, are going to go crazy. on that run
I thought
defense. So
we're-
what?
I thought we were sticking with the AFC.
Oh, we're just going to AFC. Sorry, I misheard. Sorry. And then Ravens and Bills should be a classic. It's whoever wins that's going to win the MVP. So, I'm watching it on my iPad right now, Mom. Sorry, I didn't think she'd get on
First, man.
Facebook. Yeah, I'm flustered now.
Go ahead, Josh. Let this guy take a little breather.
They're winning 56-52, and he just hit a big three. But go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
You learned that from the basketball hoop at the old house.
Damn
When I
right
was
she did.
school there.
Damn right.
After graduation. Let's see here. So Texans, I think they've gotten about as far as they're going to get. Special teams last week was not bad. I think the Chiefs come out like they've been there before, and they win that one handily. The Bills Ravens. I would much rather one of them be playing the Chiefs, but I'm gonna go with Josh Allen. I think he takes that next step. I think it's a good game, but
It's in Buffalo, right?
yeah, I think that's a huge contributor there. But I don't know if Lamar gets going and Henry gets going, and like it could be. But I think Buffalo wins up. The winner of that game is in the Super Bowl. But I have a thing. I don't bet against Patrick Mahomes, so we'll save that for.
You should bet against Patrick Mahomes.
I should bet for him.
No, you should bet against him.
Nope.
Come on, Josh, do it.
Okay, that's my AFC take.
Yeah, I think I'm going with Shay on the Texans thing. I think Texans take down the Chiefs. I think they played well last week. You've seen glimpses of it all season. See if they can put a complete game back together. Chiefs haven't played. All their starters haven't played since before Christmas or Christmas Day, I believe, like Chris Jones, Patrick Mahomes. I could see a little rust with them, and if they start slow, I think the Texans can hold them off. So Texans there. And then the Buffalo and Baltimore game. I'll be honest, I think the only team that's stopping Baltimore is Baltimore. And I think they're the best team in the AFC and possibly the NFL right now. Lamar's playing MVP caliber football. Had better stats this year than when he won the MVP. You know, that's a game where the MVP discussion's up for debate between Josh Allen and Lamar. In my opinion, the MVP shouldn't be picked till the Super Bowl's over, because I think you'll find out a lot about these guys in the playoffs. And in a game like this, I think you would decide basically who your MVP is based off the outcome of that game. But I'm going Baltimore. I think Buffalo's really, really good. I think them being at home is a huge advantage. But I just think with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, the way he's playing right now, I don't see a way that Buffalo can stop him. And Buffalo's defense is already a little bit questionable. So, you know, if the Ravens get one or two takeaways, I think that's kind of the difference maker in that game. So I'm going, you know, then you go Baltimore Texans, and obviously I'm going Baltimore into the Super Bowl. So just like Josh said, whoever wins that game, I think wins the Super Bowl or gets into the Super Bowl, excuse me. NFC. Shay, you still flustered or you good?
Shay, who'd you take over with Buffalo and Baltimore?
Buffalo. It's tough to go into Buffalo and win. The only person that can do that is Patrick Mahomes. But the Texans are going to beat Patrick Mahomes this week. Is that crazy?
I don't think so.
Thanks. Appreciate that,
I
Dave.
think so. I think a little bit, but anyways.
I think you're delusional, Josh. Respectfully.
It's not the first time I've heard it. All right. Who's your NFC picks?
NFC. The Rams are going to beat the Eagles. And the Lions are going to play the Rams. Can you take that off? Thanks, man. The Rams are going to beat the Eagles. I think everybody knows that. Well, what do you think, Dave, on that game?
Yeah, I mean the way LA is playing right now, they're a scary football team that you don't want to face. I mean, they're getting hot at the right time. However, I think Jalen Hurts looked awful last week, and somehow Philly still got it done. I know they took the ball away 3 times, 2 picks and a fumble, but that O line is legit. I mean, you want to talk about 2 of the best lines in the entire league, and I'm not talking just offensively. Their D line's legit, their O line's legit, and football is won in the trenches. Especially this time of year. So it's hard for me to say the Eagles are going to lose that game, but in my heart of hearts, I do think that Matt Stafford somehow finds a way to get a win there in Philly, and I think the Rams move on to the conference championship.
I do too. The thing with the Rams is they're healthy. I mean, like they're fully healthy now. Which they seem like all year they were fighting injuries and.
Well, Jared Verse, dog.
Yeah, that guy. He can play ball. He can play ball.
I mean, talk about a team that just finds. It's obviously not the same as Aaron Donald, but finds a guy that just kind of steps into the shoes, and between him and Kobe Turner and just some of these other guys, I mean, it's.
Yeah, they're not bad at drafting.
That Witherspoon, that DB, him, and then that Durant dude. They got some boys out there. But Lions game, I said it once already, but we got to run the ball and contain Jane Daniels. That's how we're going to win the game. And that's what we're about running the ball.
Fun fact, I was doing a little research today and listening to a podcast and some other things, but a little bit of history going down here on Saturday night when the Lions take on Washington. It will be the first game, and you can fact check me all you want on this, that it'll be the Dan Bowl. 2 head coaches named Dan taking each other on. So you got Dan Campbell, first time in NFL history, which is crazy to me.
That is.
What's the name of the left tackle for the Commanders?
The name of the left tackle for the Commanders? I don't know, Dan maybe?
Isn't Dan Skipper your left tackle?
Taylor Decker's our left tackle. He's like
Skipper's like the guy that doesn't ever report.
You said for the Commanders, though. You didn't say for Detroit.
I know, but I was thinking Dan Skipper was your left tackle, but
you're being dumb, Josh.
All right, sorry, I'm finished talking. He just ruined my fun Dan fact. No problem, dude.
Wasn't that good?
Shay, here's another fun fact for you. The last time that Washington was in this situation, it's been a really long time when they've had Dan Schneider at the helm. Obviously, that got turned over to new management and stuff like that, and they're being successful. But 1991, they faced the Detroit Lions in the conference championship. And I know you weren't even born yet. I wasn't born. Do you know the outcome of that game?
I'm going to assume they won.
Washington slaughtered Detroit to get to the Super Bowl. And Washington ended up winning the Super Bowl. That was their last Super Bowl in 1991. And that was the last time that the Lions faced the Washington Commanders. Washington, obviously, was the Redskins back then, but they're 3-0 all time against Detroit. I think Shay hit it on the head, and I don't want to get too deep into it, but you're going to have to contain Jane Daniels. He's going to break off a few runs. We've always struggled against running quarterbacks, but who doesn't? And offensively, I don't think they're going to be able to stop us. They're the 30th rush DVO defense. We get Monty back. Gibbs has been phenomenal. J-Mo's been phenomenal. Goff's been phenomenal. I think we win by 10 plus, I would say. I think it's a lot closer than it needs to be. And I think Jaden Daniels keeps it that way, but I don't think they can keep up in the boat race.
Josh?
Sorry. I got bored listening to Lions stuff. So Rams, another quarterback I don't bet against anymore is, and I knew this, but it's Matthew Stafford. If we did another take on if aliens came down and you had to pick one quarterback to defeat them, kind of like Space Jam with MJ and stuff, if I'm not taking Patrick Mahomes, I may take Matthew Stafford. And
I'm taking Steve Angeli.
Well, thanks to you, the world's taken over by aliens, most likely then. Lions win by, 20. It's not going to be a game. I think you guys got a gift there, getting to play them. Not that you were going to lose either way, but I think it's basically a bye week for you. I truly believe that. And I would love to see the Eagles and Commanders both lose. So, by the way, I was trying to Google this because I wasn't sure if that was the year. That's what I was doing. Who was the quarterback when they won in '92?
Theismann?
Theismann?
I don't know. That's my only guess. RG3?
Reincarnated.
Yeah, okay. It must. Well, I was trying to think if it was Doug Williams, but he would have been before them.
Was I spot on the 91 thing though?
I don't know. I just know I was just looking at when Doug Williams played for him. He played up until 89 with them. So he was older. But I was just gonna say,
I don't know where you're going with this.
I don't know either.
Mobile black quarterback. It was just gonna be
Wow, Josh.
Now you're bringing race into this?
no. Oh,
Wow.
stop.
Whoa. You know what just came up in history today on my Snapchat, Josh?
Yeah.
Now you want to pull this?
Their quarterback was
Okay.
Mark Ripon.
I don't even know who that is.
Wasn't
But
there a
my
right
point was-
quarterback at Green Bay for a while?
No, he's Minnesota.
Minnesota.
He just got cut for Danny Dimes.
Wow.
We should put Danny in yesterday. And
History
let him cook.
repeats itself, boys. That's what I was getting at.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Josh.
Well, yeah. You're welcome, boys. I'm glad. Little history lesson. I'm glad you had to bring, make it look like I was being a shitty human being.
You're the one that brought color into this, buddy, not us.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if Jace is saying, "Wow, you got some serious demons."
Hey, while we got a minute here, I want to, for our J session of the day, I want to give a big shout out to the Nebraska Cornhuskers. They won the Pinstripe Bowl back in 2024. And, we're happy for everyone around that that team, especially Jace. It was Jace's Super Bowl. I mean, you should have seen his text he sent us in the group chat, man. I was so happy for him. Pinstripe Bowl.
That's huge.
Happy for you, Jace. Congratulations, buddy.
I got goosebumps just thinking about it.
Wow. I'm getting fired up. Josh, so what's your projection here? You said that you wanted Eagles and Redskins to lose, Commanders. So you got Detroit versus LA, just like last year's first game. Who you taking in that? You're not going to hurt our feelings.
I think the Lions win, but if there was ever a human being that was meant to keep the Lions out of the Super Bowl, Matthew Stafford. But I don't see that happening.
I don't think so. I think it's Cam Sutton.
Cam Sutton. Dog.
Jerry Jacobs.
No, I think the Lions, and then like we said, the winner of Ravens Buffalo, which
that guy.
But also, it wouldn't surprise me if Patrick Mahomes is in the Super Bowl again.
The Texans are going to knock him off, buddy.
That's not happening.
Yes, it is.
Okay, tell me this then. If that doesn't happen, how confident are you that they lose the next round? If you give them another week of playing, get things going.
I guarantee they don't make the Super Bowl. Not with Baltimore and Buffalo right now. I think they're so superior.
Josh, have you watched the Chiefs all year?
Yeah,
Josh
but
doesn't watch football.
You know how many times I told people the Patriots weren't going to win a freaking Super Bowl, and then Tom Brady would figure it out? But Patrick Mahomes does.
He didn't win the Super Bowl every damn year, did he?
Pretty freaking close.
Jeez, Josh.
Like,
Settle down, man.
he had a better chance of winning the Super Bowl than Steph Curry did making a 3. Like,
Okay.
Google it.
I'm just saying, Josh. I think the Texans are going to go into Kansas City and win that game. I honestly believe that.
That's not happening.
Did you watch it? You don't watch football, so you probably didn't watch the Texans game last week. They looked
Yes, they did.
damn good.
You did not watch the whole game.
Especially on defense.
Not the whole game, no.
Tell me how much approximate time did you watch of that football game?
Majority of it.
Over, under a full quarter.
Over.
Uninterrupted.
No.
That's what I thought.
What'd you do? Crank the hog?
Oh, wow.
Nicole's family was here.
Oh, that's even worse, bro.
Did you guys finish all that booze?
No. So, if you guys want to come visit, I'm going dry January 11th to February, whatever the Super Bowl is.
I'm 14 days strong.
You're 14 days strong?
Yep.
What's
Dry
wrong with you,
January.
bro?
Change man, buddy.
I'm
I feel
2
way
days.
better. I got
First,
energy.
you don't play COD with me, and now you're not drinking alcohol?
Listen, buddy.
My
My internet went out.
No, I'm being serious. I'm concerned.
My fridge isn't working, Shay.
Something's up.
There was a Dave before Allie, and now there's.
I'm just doing dry January.
No, you didn't play COD with me.
Sorry, bro. I was whooping ass in cornhole.
You played cornhole
honestly,
all
though,
day.
Majority.
This
I don't
woman is
believe
good
you.
for you.
I don't
Very
believe you for
happy.
1 second.
Give me
I
a
see
good
you're
quote.
out here.
Cornhole for like an hour
You
and a
look
half.
healthier. You look happy.
Hey, give me a quote here.
Oh, geez.
I said this one day. Dave's a douchebag. That's my quote.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna do the you can't bury what comes from the.
Yeah, I
dirt?
should have. I'll save that for after.
That is a good one. It pisses me off because they were getting cheesy with all their stuff that week, but that was good. It was good.
Josh, give us some life advice.
Yeah, Jace, I had a Coca-Cola. Here, I got
So-
something for you. I got some motivation first. All right, look around your room. Pick out everything that's brown. All right, you see everything that's brown? Okay, how many things approximately do you see that were brown?
Dude, I don't know if I have anything brown in my room. Okay.
I'd say one, maybe
Okay,
two.
Josh?
Like one thing.
Okay, now look back around your room. Pick out all the things that are red.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, close your eyes. How many things did you guys see that were green?
Well, the wall in front of me is green.
Josh?
More than you, colorblind ass.
All right, so how many things that you said were brown were probably not brown, but just a hint of brown, like a beige?
No, it was actually brown.
All right. Shay?
That's a fucking mark.
I don't know why you got those.
I don't know. Probably enough.
All right.
Okay, I lied. There's a few things that are like,
What are
little
we
bit.
doing here?
This turned into a social experiment, huh?
yeah, I don't even
You
know
know-
what color beige is.
Moral of the story is that, when you're looking for something, that's probably what you're going to find, right? When you're not looking for something, unless your name's Shay and the green wall's right in front of you somehow or some reason. Yeah, you're probably not. That's the whole point of this was not for Shay to have a green wall in front of him. But you're going to find what you're looking for, right? So if I'm just walking down the street and I'm only looking for one thing, that's all I'm going to come up with. Whereas if I keep my mind open and I'm going to find multiple things of multiple colors or whatever it may be, and if your name's Josh, it's going to be lots of colors because he's a little fruity. But that's my motivation.
Thank you.
In all honesty, though, can you tell the difference between red and green?
No, in all honesty, Josh, why the hell did you have a Crayola marker just sitting there ready?
So I'm at my desk, and I don't know why. I have like a little thing that had like pens and permanent markers. I don't know why there's a Crayola, but there is one.
So, Dave, you're not gonna have any booze during the game on Sunday or Saturday?
No, sir.
I don't believe you for 1 second.
So if they lose, are you going to?
Nope.
I don't believe that. No.
Swears it.
So Yeah, it's been 2 days for me, and I feel good. You know,
You look good.
it's kind of boring, guys. Like I don't know if it. I don't know if I should be concerned that I like after 2 days I'm like thinking I should just like grab a beer for this. Is that a problem? So the advice of the day today is just say no. Okay. Be like, this is gonna hurt to say, but be more like Dave, you know. Try hard things. Okay. Also, do you have a chance to cash out a bet with a parlay with the Vikings, winning, prior to their game? Cash out.
A terrible bet. Terrible bet. You asked me the day before, like, who do you think is going to win this game? And I texted you individually and said LA for sure. And you still
did.
made that bet.
Yes, and Nicole's entire family, who are Vikings fans, even told me that they probably aren't going to win.
KOC can't win in the playoffs.
I was optimistic. And I was wrong.
You were an idiot.
I'm actually when I was saying that there's a chance, there's no way I get all 4 of those bets wrong in that parlay for like Notre Dame, Duke, and there's a pretty good chance. So,
well, I think we'll have one more episode here, probably wrapped up after the Super Bowl. I know we're all kind of busy with things going on, so we'll try to do one more this season. Maybe do a draft spectacular again, and then we'll look to pick up again. Season 3 next year. Not next year, I guess, but next September, October, August. I don't know when it is.
Whenever we get to it.
Whenever. Shay?
Thanks for coming.